Welcome back. Welcome back. So, we are a few short minutes away now from it coming out of the oven. Okay. Welcome back, Andy. Welcome back, Paulie. So, we're just a few minutes away now. A few very short minutes. Welcome back, Fiona. So, got about 2.5 minutes till the smoke alarm goes off. Okay. Then we've got a little bit more jeopardy because we've got to turn it out onto this damp, not moist and not soaking wet tea towel. Okay, so welcome, Steve. Glad you could join us. So, a little bit of an experience for me doing something like this. Okay, I'll try and be quick. I know celebrity point. I'm on it. I'm doing the best I can, honestly, and this is the best I can do. I'm not lying to you. This is genuinely the best I can do. So, good evening, Alice. How are you? Eton Mess launch? It could very well be, Paulie. You could be right. This could turn into Eton Mess. Or do you mean Elon Musk? Either way, I don't think you're too far away. So, miss you too, Alice. We will catch up very soon, hopefully. So, we are just waiting. It's got a minute now. Now the jeopardy is very exciting. Did you see that? I had that tucked in there. Look. Because I watched a Telema program the other day, and this chef had his thing tucked in there like that. So I thought I'd show that. I'm not a chef, by the way. Okay, I'm not a chef. Have I mentioned that? Frozen is finished. Well, hopefully my viewing figures will go up, or they may go down. Smoke alarm's going off, so we're going to in the oven. So, it says, it should be. I know it's time you'll never get back, Josh, but you weren't doing anything anyway, so it's all a bit irrelevant. So, I have to say that I had to put it down, you see, because it was burning my finger. Because funnily enough, it's just come out of the oven and it was hot. Okay? Look at that. All right? Don't put it on the damp tea towel, because then the tea towel won't be damp anymore, because you'll dry it with the thing out of the oven. So, another piece of greaseproof paper. Ta-da! Over the top of there. And now, proper jeopardy, where I've got to try and get this to turn over. I'm not holding out much hope for that, if I'm being honest, but we'll give it a go. That's still hot, I'm not going to lie. That is still hot. But we're going to have to go for it, I reckon. Oh. Very fuffy. Very, very fuffy. It's upside down now anyway. So that's a start, isn't it? Let's see. Looks like some of me nuts are falling out. Not good, is it, when your nuts fall out? Well, that looks like a promising start, doesn't it? In the fact that that's empty and not full of uncooked meringue. So that doesn't look a bad start at all to this proceedings. next bit of jeopardy is we've got to peel this off apparently. Now, this could end up full of uncooked meringue, or it may not. Something's got to go drastically wrong soon. This has all been going too well. Wow. I'm not going to lie. Oh, bottoms. One moment. Let me just scoop that bit off there. Oh. Let's go and buy a new oven. So, we've now peeled that off. Not much meringue on there either, is there? Not much meringue on there. So, that's a good sign. Now, we just need to let that cool for a few minutes. Oh, so it's all sticky on that side, though. I've just found that out, which is good, isn't it? Yeah. What a numpton. So, we're going to go and check the toffee sauce. I'm going to go and get the toffee sauce. I've just slipped it in the fridge, actually. Okay? I didn't put my nuts in the fridge because they'll get too cold and they all shrivel up. So, what I've done is I put my toffee sauce in the fridge to try and thicken it up a little bit because it's still a little bit thin. And it's still a little bit thin, which is a bit disappointing. So, I'm going to go and slide my toffee sauce into the freezer. Ta! I'm back. So that's gone in the freezer to try and soften it up a little bit and make it harder, firmer, softer, harder, firmer, stiffer. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. It'll all be fine, won't it? It'll all be fine in the end. Now, it did say that you should leave the greaseproof paper like that to why it cools. I don't really know why, but do you know what? If I didn't know any better, I would say I've made a very good job of that. But we have a little bit of jeopardy coming along, don't we? Because we're going to try and roll it as well. Now, if everybody remembers, me rolling my Swiss roll didn't go very well, did it? No. So, I think we're just going to have to go with exactly the same approach, which is hope, and see where we end up, to be honest with you. I don't really know what else we can do, because, hey, we're this far. We're this far, aren't we? So what do we think? Do we think, should we make some profiterolles next week? Bit of choux pastry? Or should we try and make some chocolate eclairs? You know, bit of choux pastry. Easy, apparently. Easy. I mean, how difficult can it be? Mind you, I've never seen Gordon make choux pastry. You question whether Gordon knows how, don't you? Maybe sideline for me, showing Gordon how to make choux pastry. So that's cooling down now. It's quite gooey on the inside still, which is what I reckon it's supposed to be like, if I'm being honest. But it could do with cooling down a little bit more, I reckon. But I don't quite know how we're going to do that without the aid of a... Need a bit of liquid nitrogen, don't you? That would cool it down. That would definitely cool it down a little bit. So, some of my nuts have fallen off. Well, Andy, that's a very good question. Shoe or shoe? Well, being... I don't really know the difference, other than ones you put on your feet and the other ones that make eclairs. But there again, you could potentially couldn't you? You could potentially wear an eclair on your foot if you made a big enough one. I can't running eclairs. So it wouldn't be a lot of good. There is a Jenny eclair though. Don't quite know what the difference is between Jenny and a normal eclair. Anybody else know? I certainly don't know. So, I think that's still a tad on the warm side, I reckon. I think that is still a tad on the warm side. But I have got to roll it, but I don't want it too warm, because if it's too warm, all the cream melts, as I found out before. So, to add in a bit of jeopardy, we're going for it. So, I'm just going to the blast chiller. Sorry, it's a freezer really, but most people have a freezer, but I have noticed that I'm not really sure how well this is going to go, if I'm being honest with this, but we'll give it a go. Let's crack on with it. I'll get my little pink thing out, look, my little pink thing. So, now, I have gone completely off of recipe here. I'm not going to lie, but I thought this would be probably a bit nicer. Now I'm already thinking this probably isn't going to go very well. So, we're going to get a bit of our toffee sauce and we're going to spread it over the roulade. Okay? To the uninitiated like myself, the back of the meringue that's got nuts on the top of it. And don't worry if it's cracked, just look into the cracks. You know, just let it soak into the cracks. And I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure, honestly. I can tell when there's jeopardy involved in what I do, because turn the camera around a touch. Okay, there we go. Is that better? Should we go a little bit more? There we go. There we go. We can tell when my decisions on making something have got a bit of jeopardy in them, because people cook along. I've realised that. So, this amazing tool, amazing. Absolutely. Silicon, you know. Silicon, look. Very nice. So, now we're going to smear some cream on it. Okay, so we're just going to spread that around. Oh dear. Not going well. It's sliding around like dog's feet on lino. So, metal spoon. Quite what difference that's... Oh, jeez. So, oh no. But it'll be okay, won't it? It'll be fine. I mean, what can go wrong? Get a bit more cream on it. And we'll pat the cream on. We'll pat the cream. Pat a cake, cream the cream. There we go. Oh, that's better. Look, patting it on. That's definitely better. So just remember, this was the low-fat recipe. And if you're allergic to eating or sucking a nut, this isn't for you. If you're trying to lose weight, this isn't for you. but knowing the stuff that's gone in it, I have a feeling it's going to be pretty tasty. And the love that's gone into it. The love that's gone into it was amazing. Ah, very good point, Andy. Yeah, the dog's feet would not slip if he was wearing eclair shoes. Very good. Very good. But I have never known a Labrador that if he had chocolate eclairs on his feet, wouldn't be eating them. Right, there we go. There we go. Right. Okay. So, now, this is really where jeopardy comes in. Because I'm going to try and spin this round on the worktop, which is jeopardy in itself. I don't know if you all remember the Swiss roll, but the Swiss roll, honest, as I'm stood here, nearly fell off the top of the worktop. Now, good evening, Kay. Good evening, Kay. Some top tips for you. Toffee and walnut roulade, we're all over this. So, we're now going to try and roll this into a roulade without it falling off the... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Crikey, there's some proper jeopardy going on here. It's happening. It's happening. As if by magic, this is happening. And it's around. There's quite a lot of cream coming out of this. Maybe I've put it in too tight. Maybe I've put it in too tight. But we won't worry about that. Now, what I need now is I need to slide it onto something. Why don't I use one of the wooden ones? That's a very good idea. This is the famous wooden one, okay, that also doubles as a mouse mat. Evening, Jenny, how are you? Now, I want to try and get this onto there to do the final roll, because don't worry about that bit. Don't worry about that. That's for laters. That's for laters. Don't worry about that bit. We'll save that for laters. We'll just put that to one side. It happens to the best people, apparently. So this is the last bit of the roll coming now. It's a bit flat, I know I haven't quite got that bit perfected yet, but there you have a toffee and pecan.
No, walnut.
It's not pecan. Don't worry, Jenny. Don't worry, Jenny. You can watch it all back to your heart's content. You can watch it all back to your heart's content in your own time as well. I'm going to post my YouTube channel on Facebook. And I put them on there. So there we have a toffee and walnut roulade made before your very eyes. Okay. So I am available for catering for parties. Yep. Yep. You know, maybe do a bit of a comedy chef thing. I'm not a chef though. Can maybe do a bit of a comedy chef thing. You know, I'm available for dinner parties. I could do it all live for you. Yeah. Perfectly happy to do that. People would be astounded. People would be astounded. Yes, Paulie, it'll post well. It will post well. To be honest with you, it probably wouldn't look much worse than it looks now. So, yeah, we can post a bit. We can post. You never know. What we might do is we may do a couple of guest appearances in somebody else's house and do it. How funny would that be? So, have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk. Bye for now.